Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets, and I'm joined today by Noah Olson and Lance Shuttler of basically EMF, Harmonized, and Ascent Nutrition. So we're going to talk about some very interesting things today. I love
Hello, everyone.
this information. Every time we get together, I learn a lot of stuff. You guys are going to learn a lot of stuff. This is the first time Noah's joined us, and the first time he's been live. So it's he's a newbie, but he's a very well-spoken person. I get to spend some time with him on a vacation in Florida, and so it's going to be very enjoyable. Guys, you want to talk a little bit about yourselves?
Absolutely. Well, Michael, I appreciate that introduction. Thankful to be here and looking forward to have a great conversation. I'm co-owner of Ascent Nutrition and just looking forward to talking about our supplements.
Excellent. And
Yeah.
Lance?
Thank you, Michael. Noah and I co-started and co-own Ascent Nutrition, the supplements that you're helping to promote, and Jay is as well. And then I'm also owner of EMF Harmonized, which is something that both you guys are obviously promoting as well too. So we really wanted to come on and talk with you, Michael, and like really set the intention that our conversation is hopeful and educating and inspiring, and like really helps people shift into a higher state of consciousness and awareness to focus on the good things that are happening, and really empower oneself with technology regarding EMFs, and then also nutritional supplements that help to raise a person's vibration as well.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate to be involved with your products, and I think they're I believe they're the best in the world by far, all of them, and I love promoting them because I love to have good things, and when you find that they actually work on a different level, and you share it with other people and they find the same thing, that's very enjoyable. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you do a really good job explaining it. And, it's something that's so new in terms of to the marketplace, like with the EMF stuff, those longitudinal scalar waves. It's very, very unique. I believe I was telling you about this through text, and Noah and I have been talking about this recently, that there's a company out there. I don't actually remember the company's name, but they're getting a lot of promotion for the Tesla med beds right now.
Oh yeah.
And like, they're awesome. I was looking up and down their website, and they're phenomenal. They are, $20,000 for a med bed. So hopefully that price can come down in the near future, but they're using something called longitudinal scalar waves. And that's the exact technology that we're using in our wristbands, the protection on the cell phones, and so forth. Yeah. But we're taking it a little step further with what we're doing, and it just puts its own unique spin on it, so to speak, literally and metaphorically.
Very nice. Yeah, that people are super excited about the med beds. So it's kind of nice to see that they already exist. I've been telling people they exist. Some people use them. Some people report phenomenal results. Of course, we can't really share that on here because that kind of steps on people's toes that are trying to control a lot of stuff. But they are extremely effective.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's like where we're going, and what you've been talking about for so long, Michael, is consciousness and quantum consciousness, quantum technologies, frequencies. Tesla said it. Frequency is the future, and we're now living in that future. And the explosion of frequency-based technologies is just going to keep accelerating massively. And I'm very, very happy and grateful to have made the connections that I've made to bring this company to the world and really help people, because that's, as we've talked about so many times, this is what it's all about. Everything that we all do, yes, we need to pay our bills and earn money in that way right now, but ultimately we're going to a place in the future where it's really just going to be all about helping each other, helping heal ourselves, and help heal the planet and beyond.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So the Tesla scalar technology, what exactly does that do for the human body and so forth?
Okay, so what we're doing is we're taking known beneficial frequencies that benefit human physiology. And what we're doing is we're programming them into that hologram, that gold disc. And what happens from there is those frequencies literally interact with our DNA, and it tells our DNA to create some sort of physiological response. And the physiological responses are always beneficial to our physiology. So it's literally communicating with the body through frequencies. An analogy would be like, let's say you eat some food. Ultimately, at the very base of that, when it's broken down and digested, all the cells are communicating based on the frequencies that are in those foods. And so what we've actually done is we've kind of reverse engineered that process, and we're taking beneficial frequencies that we know of from various plants, minerals, vitamins, other things found in nature. And then we encode them into these holograms, and then those holograms interact with us, and it tells the DNA how to respond. So, we can't obviously talk about treating conditions or anything like that, but it definitely does help to promote overall physiological wellness. And like our body relief patches have been clearly shown with thermography tests to help support a healthy inflammatory response.
I can say personally too, I live in a pretty big apartment complex, and wearing my band definitely helps me actually get to sleep because I'm just covered in it. So definitely works.
So that also leads into some of the technologies you guys are working with the plant-based supplements you guys have.
Yeah, go ahead, Noah.
Absolutely. Well, should we screen share this, or how should we do this?
Yeah, let me see if you have the screen share.
Okay.
But yeah, you're definitely moving into a very high level of consciousness when you're using the different foods and so forth. So that's phenomenal.
Awesome. All right. Can you guys see this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So I just wanted to start off with our best product actually for the gut. And I actually want to go back to a recent podcast I know you did with Jay and Rebecca Shaw. And you guys talked about a lot of great things. One of them being the gut being our second brain, and the intuition that we can actually tap into with that. And so, in our food today, a lot of processed crap that we eat, it does interfere with our ability to grow beneficial strains of bacteria and actually have like a healthy gut. And so this product here, it contains prebiotic and probiotics. So a lot of people are probably familiar with probiotics, which are beneficial gut bacteria. But prebiotics are actually equally or possibly even more important because that's actually what feeds those bacteria. So this product here, it contains something called larch arabinogalactan prebiotic fiber, and it literally comes from the heart of larch trees. And this fiber has been shown to increase the number of natural killer cells, which helps support a healthy immune system. Basically, our gut has the ability to create neurotransmitters, and it's basically the home of our immune system. And so by taking in these prebiotic fibers, we just nurture those gut bacteria and actually increase the quantity and the abundance. So yeah, and then going further into it, it also does include MCT oil powder, which for anyone who's not familiar, MCT oil is actually converted directly into ketones in the body, which are the most abundant source of energy. They are incredible for staving off cravings. It helps to give like a feeling of fullness, as well as it, like I said, gives you a great energy boost. So that's the first product. Lance, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, Noah, you and I were talking earlier about the study done on rats. I think you know it a bit better than I do, but that was very interesting. Maybe you want to expound upon that.
Absolutely. So thank you for bringing that up. So there's actually a pretty famous study that was done on rats, but it definitely applies here. So they took a healthy, happy rat, and then they took the gut bacteria of a depressed rat, and they introduced it to the healthy rat, and instantly it became depressed. And so it just shows that, you know, not only what we put into our bodies definitely affects how we feel, but increasing the number of, you know, the prebiotic fibers that we're taking in, the good bacteria, is going to help to make you more happy, essentially. So
Yeah, that's good. When I was in combat zones, I relied on my gut intuition basically to warn me when things were coming. So having a really good diet, I would take 2 suitcases overseas. One of them was full of food, supplements and so forth. So it's extremely important. And the MCT oil that you mentioned is very, very costly actually. So that's an excellent price for the peak gut health, because you got a lot of other things in there that are very valuable.
absolutely.
Yeah, Michael, you know, something you just kind of said that I think would be super interesting if they could somehow do a study on this is developing one's intuition, and then even studying one's intuition based on their gut bacteria and how their gut strengthens over time using, let's say, prebiotics and probiotics, and also, you know, having an optimal diet around that.
Yeah.
I'm sure, you know, you could definitely set up a study like that, but it'd be probably very, very interesting, and especially tying that into the remote viewing and just like overall cognitive awareness, how much that would probably really enhance one's ability to perform at those levels.
Yeah, it absolutely does, because when I used to run these courses, I used to run like week-long courses. I controlled the diet. So I knew that it was very important. Everyone had like all 3 meals and then snacks and everything. That was part of the course package. And we were living in the wilderness in the Pocono Mountains, alongside streams that were running through. Super nice area, very quiet. We had to place ourselves, so it really makes a difference, you know, as far as like, you know, having your gut health very, very clean, having good clean foods, good supplements and so forth. So if you don't have that, then the intuitive aspects that I was teaching would have been extremely hard to impart on people.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, the prebiotic is something that I've really been getting into more. Noah, we can talk about the immune booster product that we just released, and tie that into the humic.
Awesome.
Michael, so we just released a new product called Immune Booster, and honestly, we could call it so many different things because it's applicable in every system in the body. Basically, this has something in there called humic acid. I think you and I might have talked about humic and fulvic acid before, but humic acid. So, okay, going back to the prebiotics and probiotics obviously wonderful to take, and prebiotics also wonderful to take, because those prebiotics are feeding the good probiotics.
Mm-hmm.
Now, something that's very unique and interesting to this product, but also just in general, is that every one of us has different bacteria in our gut. We're all different. Good bacteria, bad bacteria, depending on one's diet and lifestyle and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But this humic acid is one of the only substances known to be able to help promote the presence of one's own innate bacteria. Okay, so like prebiotic fibers, they'll feed beneficial bacteria, but only certain beneficial bacteria will feed off of certain prebiotics. Now, this humic acid, it's like the full enchilada, in that all beneficial bacteria can feed off of this humic acid and thus proliferate. And so you're really like enhancing your own unique probiotics in your gut so that you can really become your best self, because we're way more bacteria than we are human. And it's like something like nine times more bacteria than we are human.
Wow.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah. And that stuff also cognitively is phenomenal because it's loaded in fulvic acid. And fulvic acid, you could think of this as like little mini battery chargers for every cell in the body, specifically the mitochondria, because it's like a little trickle charge of a battery to where it's literally just supplying energy to the cells. It's also the strongest known free radical scavenger. It has 14 tetratrillion electrons that it can donate or receive to help neutralize free radicals. So this is like what you'd call like an antioxidant, fulvic acid. And this humic acid is rich in that fulvic acid. And so it's really, fulvic acid applies to every system in the body, but specifically for energy, for detox, for cognitive health, helps support healthy blood pressure, blood sugar levels, so forth. We just came out with this and we're very excited about it because we can really help people in a lot of different ways with it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's amazing. I like that. It's got the virus inhibitor, so the viruses can't attach. So viruses, pretty much. If I have a friend that studies viruses, mold, and all that kind of stuff, and how it goes back into biblical teachings of how these things were called demonic possession. So it's interesting how this is really coming to a head right now, because we're seeing a lot of people that seem to be pushing this the things that are going on right now seem to be kind of possessed themselves. So it's fabulous to see all this stuff. I always learn more every time we get together. So this is really going to play a long way to help people understand what's going on with the actual biochemical processes that happen with food and the electrical processes like we talked about. If you don't have really good gut health, that stimulation that I was depending on to basically warn me of impending problems, and not just in a combat zone, but I was able to pull out of the stock market in time. I make several investment decisions where I have like 3,000% increases in some of the things that I invest in, and then I pull it out just before it drops. So if you don't have a very good bio system that's happening in your body, you don't have access to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Going back to what you said, like with the demonic aspect and like the archonic aspect, humic acid is rich in hydrogen and carbon, and carbon and hydrogen are elements of life. And so where there is life, it's harder for anti-life to be present. So that makes complete sense.
Fabulous.
And to add on to that too, I just want to say this humic and fulvic, of course we know that they've hijacked the water system, and this is supposed to be in our water. Actually, it's supposed to be something that we could find naturally, but they've stripped it of everything. So
Interesting.
Yep. And that fulvic is especially, it's the most powerful. I mean, some people might argue with me, but zeolites and fulvic acid are the most powerful detoxifiers because they can get into any cell and they cross the blood-brain barrier too. So there's no place that fulvic acid cannot get to attach itself to heavy metals and other just basic metabolic waste to then pull it into the bloodstream and for it to get detoxed down into the liver. So like fluoride detoxification, just general heavy metal detoxification. Fulvic acid is something I've been telling people about for a very long time because it is powerful, powerful stuff for supporting health in many ways.
Excellent.
Absolutely. Going off that, you said the liver, that is the next one we got here. So this peak liver support, it includes a lot of very interesting ingredients. One of them is called Solar-Plast, which you can see here. It's actually a patented chloroplast complex from spinach leaves. So what this does is it's basically got the ingredients to repair the glutathione pathway within the body. And glutathione is one of the greatest antioxidants that the body produces. So, with that, you're going to experience a lot of detox because the liver itself, actually, I have a personal testimony. I used to have terrible allergies, seasonal allergies, and we're coming up to spring. Those allergies that we take in, along with pollution, a lot of harmful things get filtered through the liver. So if your liver is, decaying or whatever, it's not going to be able to filter out all of those harmful substances, and it actually overcompensates and produces histamines to try and overcome this. But you've got to go to the source, and so the Solar-Plast helps to repair those pathways and
Incredible.
complete that.
Somebody in the chat asked if I did a lot of detoxifying, and the detoxifying that I did was basically really good supplements. But I did do if something came into my system and started to compromise me a little bit, I would detox. And there's a system that I use. Can't describe it here because it's kind of outlawed, but there's a system that I would use that basically cleanse my system. And then there's always yogurt overseas. Yogurt's really good. So I would get really good for the yogurt, goat milk yogurt. So lots of goats overseas. So it was fantastic.
That's awesome. And the liver, so I'll say a couple things. So if a person stacks glutathione or something that helps support the production of glutathione with fulvic acid, you're going to have one of the most potent detoxification pairings out there, because glutathione, like Noah said, is a very, very beneficial detoxifier, especially for the brain and liver. It's wonderful and necessary actually within the body. We need glutathione, and there's a reason they call it the master free radical scavenger, because it's among the top two within the body that the body produces to detoxify the brain and liver. And so if you stack that with the fulvic acid, it's just phenomenal. And the liver as well, like we know in Chinese medicine, the liver holds the area for anger and like deep emotional processing. And so if someone is stuck in those emotions, helping to detox the liver for some people can help them, clear those negative emotions.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the liver itself too is, for instance, when wolves hunt and kill their prey, they actually allow the alpha first to go and eat the liver from that animal, because it's one of the most nutritious sources of all the vitamins, minerals, and protein that you need. So it's vitally important that we maintain liver health to just support overall nutrition and detoxification, like Lance said. So also included in this is going to be some other great herbs like dandelion root, for instance, that also produces glutathione on its own. So not only is this going to help you repair those pathways, but it's actually going to help your body naturally produce more glutathione as well.
Phenomenal.
Yep.
The milk thistle, all of these really are phenomenal for the brain, but especially that milk thistle. It's commonly used as a liver supplement, but that milk thistle also does help to promote healthy levels of something called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor that's like, they call it miracle grow for the brain. Essentially, it helps strengthen the connection between neurons, helps strengthen the foundational structure actually of neurons, and just really helps the cell-to-cell communication with those neurons. And something that we recently learned, Noah, if you want to go to the nootropic one, Michael, I know you know about St. John's wort, and just like it's just one of those herbs that have been traditionally used for so long. But we came across, Noah actually came across some very, very interesting information just a few days ago about St. John's wort. But this nootropic focus product is specific for brain health and like mood, outlook, cognitive function, spiritual awareness, for many different reasons. But two that we'll just briefly talk about is the St. John's wort and Bacopa. But there was a recent study where they're looking at St. John's wort on people's perceptions and people's emotional processing. And the St. John's wort, just after 6 days, literally helped people to focus more on the positive things that were happening in their life and in their immediate environment, and actually completely tune out more of the negative. So like, in this community, we all know we want to focus on the good and just be aware of the negative, but not give it its energy. And this St. John's wort literally helps us do this.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I've always liked that, to know, to understand it on different levels. Fascinating.
Yeah, and even going off that too, I mean, it's been used throughout history to essentially like ward off demons and demonic spirits.
That's unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, the story behind that is, I mean, there's multiple stories, but one of them is, so they call it St. John's wort because it typically blooms right around summer solstice, and it was like an honoring for St. John the Baptist. And they would take the flowers and place them in certain places to help, just like Noah said, kind of ward off negative spirits and really help to bring out that bright, sunny spirit within us. Because those beautiful yellow flowers, they're signifying what the truth is. And the truth is light. The truth is light and life and happiness. And those flowers are showcasing that.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Noah, if you want to talk a little bit about the Bacopa as well, that's pretty powerful, and especially relating to consciousness and awareness. Absolutely.
Yeah, Bacopa has traditionally been used. It's actually given to monks in monasteries to help them meditate better. And so, from just an outsider perspective, it definitely, taking it, you feel a better sense of awareness. It's actually been given to children, and it's been shown to help children with ADHD, which is something, commonly prescribed Adderall and all sorts of stimulants, but this actually naturally calms them and helps them retain information longer and have more attention, which is phenomenal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the monks and those who meditate in India for centuries now have used Bacopa, because Bacopa means, or in Ayurveda, it's called Brahmi, which translates to roughly like God consciousness or spiritual consciousness, spiritual awareness. It helps to facilitate the communication between both the left and right hemisphere. So it's very important for meditation and, remote viewing, intuition, everything like that. It just helps to focus the brain and bring about deeper spiritual insights into one's life. Really beautiful herb, and those flowers are incredibly beautiful in that it's like a vibrant white. And again, it's, to me, that just signifies what the truth is. It's pure white light, pure white truth of integrity and just cleanliness,
That's beautiful. And you guys, don't you have like packages where you can get a lot of these things in groups?
Yeah.
Yep.
Got several different bundles that people can buy, and that's a way to save money. Like we got a brain bundle, blood sugar, and cardiovascular bundle. That brain bundle is, I think, our most popular one for sure.
Yep.
Mhm.
And this actually hits the three that we just talked about. For anyone wondering, the peak liver is great for the brain, like we talked about, which is why we included it.
Michael, I know that you've been taking the pine pollen, which is what we got here, and several of the other supplements. What have you felt in general, or specifically from some of these things?
Yeah, it definitely has boosted my intuition. These are obviously challenging times for all of us. There's been times where I was like, you know, the warrior side of me wants to like, kick this thing off and, make things happen. But I think that some of these Ascent Nutrition supplements have definitely kept me calm. So, and I use them regularly, and I know that, like I'm saying, that they make a difference in my life. So I'm completely, they're part of my consciousness, part of my routine that I use these every day.
That's awesome. Yeah, the pine pollen has been selling extremely well.
Hmm.
We talked about this last time, and it's just such a beautiful symbolism for so much. But those pine cones, really, to me, and I know in several different ways, signify the pineal gland. Like we
Right.
talked about, the Vatican has that massive pine cone structure right there at St. Peter's Square, and a lot of people have said that is supposed to represent the pineal gland, and the Vatican's deep knowledge of what the pineal gland does.
Hmm.
And the pine cone is that representation, and the fact that we can extract the nutrients within the pine, the actual pine pollen itself, and use that for the body, it's phenomenal. And especially given that some of the compounds in there are so wonderful for brain health, specifically DHEA and SOD, which is another powerful detoxifier right there along with glutathione. So, taking those three, you're going to get glutathione, SOD, and if you take that fulvic acid, like you literally have the three top known detoxifiers for the brain and the body.
Yeah, we have a lot of ponderosa pine here, so and lodgepole. So it's the bee pollen here is like in the early spring is like over the top. So uh, I've always heard that the bee pollen was a nutrient, and that you could gather it, and it could if you were in a survival situation, that it would sustain you. So that's it's interesting. You guys have taken it to a whole different level.
Absolutely. And bee pollen as well as the pine pollen are they're both two of the only sources of these phytoandrogens, which are plant hormones. So essentially it has the ability to create bioidentical hormones to our own body, which is phenomenal
Hmm.
for hormone optimization and energy as well.
Yeah, and we're sourcing ours from Canada, which is a very distinct difference. Almost every pine pollen product on the market, and there's really not that many. Almost every one of them is coming from China, and it's just, not to say that the stuff isn't as good per se, but it's much harder in China with regulations to know exactly what you're getting.
Right.
This is certified through Canadian regulations, and it's wild harvested. We're working with a couple naturopaths to source this stuff, and so we know that it is pure, clean stuff. And actually, the extraction method that we use is unique to all the other pine pollen companies out there. So we are proud to say this, and not with any ego, but we do have the most unique and powerful pine pollen supplement on the market. And that's exactly what we were wanting to go for. We didn't just kind of fall into this. We actually sought this out because we wanted to say, truthfully that we do have the strongest and the best one out there.
Yeah, that's impressive. And I see that it, supports libido too. A lot of times libido is, suppressed because of improper blood flow. So that's, this is definitely one of those things that's going to help your blood flow into those valuable areas that, make us happy. So I like that it has all your stuff has multiple benefits.
Yeah, absolutely. The pine pollen has been used in TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, for, again, centuries. And there's several dozen studies, even reaching into the hundreds, of showing how pine pollen has wide-ranging effects and how it's been used on different areas in the body to address certain things going on in the body in several different ways. So it really is like as like a health food, it's a panacea in terms of it helps to support health in a wide variety of ways.
Phenomenal.
And it's one of those things where it is a superfood. And
Mhm.
I know we've talked about this before, Michael, and Noah, you and I have talked about this a lot. That word superfood is so overused in this industry. It's really like, it's very unfortunate. I mean, of course, all foods that are beneficial are super for us, but to actually be able to use that label and that claim, it really needs to stand out. And pine pollen is one of those things that stands out because of what Noah just highlighted. I mean, it's got 14 vitamins, 24 minerals, all the amino acids, live enzymes, the fatty acids, all these phytoandrogens.
Wow.
It's addressing a lot of different things going on in the body to help support our health.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we're, Michael, you and I talked about this. Well, we all did down in Florida, that we've got some very, very, very unique coffee coming very soon.
Oh yeah. Very cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be amazing. That's going to sell out quick.
Yes. Yes.
Everybody likes the coffee, and especially if it's going to be on the level that you guys are talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Noah, you can go into that a little bit if you would like, because it's authentically top of the line coffee that we're going to be offering.
Absolutely. Yeah. So like most coffee you buy at the stores actually got mold and all sorts of toxins in it, which give you that crash, that hard crash after you drink a cup of coffee. But there's very few brands like ours that are actually testing it for these toxins. And we're ensuring that this is pure, clean coffee. It's top 3% in the world, specialty grade coffee coming from Guatemala. It's tastes excellent. It's pure. And there's no crash.
Yeah. And obviously also grown organically. So, being able to say that it's grown organically with the mold and mycotoxin free is something that, I mean, very, very few companies can say. And we've actually been, again, seeking this specific thing out because we want to offer the best of the best.
Absolutely.
We really want to help. We want to help people, and we also want to move these industries in the world forward in ways to push the envelope. Like, hopefully someday all coffee is like this, because it can be, and it should be. It should all be like this. We shouldn't even have the coffees that are available that are being sprayed with pesticides. Like, coffee is the most sprayed plant in terms of pesticides.
Wow.
So, if someone's not buying organic, highly recommend buying organic. And, when we have ours out, it'll be available for people if they'd like.
Unbelievable. So you have energy stimulants and stuff like that. Energy burn, like you're showing right there.
Yep.
There's another one a little bit further down. I think it was or a little bit further. Yeah, peak fat burner.
Yep.
So you guys have a lot of products, that people are like getting all over the place, and you guys are like the one-stop shopping here. It's awesome.
Yeah, we've got about now we've got, I think 31 products. And with these bundles, it's up to about 38 different options for people.
Incredible.
Adding that coffee soon, a few other things. Very excited for where we're going with this because it's helping people and we're getting phenomenal feedback from people as well.
Yeah.
People
Yeah. I noticed
actually
that too. Yeah.
feeling
People loving this stuff.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think those are the things that we definitely wanted to hit on, Michael. If
Okay.
you've got other questions or other things that we can talk about, we're happy to, for sure.
Did you want to touch on the EMF harmonized
Yeah,
stuff a little bit? You want to
yeah,
pull up something on that?
let's do it. So, like we talked about at the beginning, relating to Nikola Tesla, we're using these longitudinal scalar waves, and we're embedding them or encoding them into these holograms. And these holograms then literally are able to interact with our DNA, the frequencies, because our DNA acts as an antenna for the full range of EMFs, both beneficial EMFs like red light therapy and the harmful ones like the EMFs coming off of phones and routers and so forth. So you can think of DNA as this antenna, and it really just depends, okay, what sort of frequency are we going to feed to this DNA or send to the DNA? If we're exposed to the cell phones, the cell towers, so forth constantly, the DNA is picking up on that, and it's telling the physiology to respond in ways that are not beneficial for us. When we are using this technology, though, on our phone or on the wristband like this, it changes the game in terms of the beneficial frequencies that are programmed in are now overriding the harmful effects of this EMF radiation. And it's literally telling the body, hey, everything's okay. You don't need to panic or create a harmful physiological response while in the presence of these EMFs. So it really, again, just helps to promote coherent, balanced bioelectrical energy in the body.
Yeah. So for me, I was always, I could go maybe a week, two at the most, before I had to like hit the wilderness to basically balance myself out. Since I've been using the EMF harmonized stuff, I don't have that need anymore. It's it basically keeps me balanced. I absolutely know it does. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it anymore. I knew that pretty because I'm very much in touch with my energies. And when I first started using it, I was like, wow, this stuff is pretty amazing. Now the stuff that you have in here, as far as like what people can view, is pretty. I mean, what you see that how the blood, coagulates and stuff like that. You're never not going to want to have this stuff on your stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty amazing.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. Yeah, that video that Noah's playing right now, this is a time lapse video that we did with the body relief patches. So we stuck them on people who had inflammation, and this one is, so we've got 4 different clips that'll come up, and basically where there's red, it's inflammation, and then as things start turning to green like this, it's promoting a healthy inflammatory response. So it's really helping to address that specific response in the body. And we have phenomenal feedback on that. A lot of people, and I can authentically say this, I've heard mind-blowing testimonies from people.
So have I. Yeah.
That just, I mean, really blow me away. And it just really makes me happy that they're helping people in this way, because again, this is what we want to do, just help people. Everyone deserves to live a happy and healthy life and be pain-free, live comfortably. And, these products definitely help with that. We've also got some sleep products coming out too, sleep patches specifically. So it's going to be just like the body relief, but they're going to be sleep. And we're very excited about that. We actually did a human study on it, and it was 92% effective, I believe was the number. 92% of the people we studied 60 people felt deeper sleep, longer sleep, and just overall higher quality of sleep.
Yeah.
Like I said, I can personally say I use this every night when I sleep, and sometimes it'll fall off and I'll actually wake up, and I think it's those EMFs coming back into my aura.
Interesting. Yeah, and there's also, you guys have supplements too for sleep, helping sleep patterns. I saw that as well, so that's nice.
Absolutely.
So if you get both, and you have the the wristband thing, it's you're gonna sleep nice. So it's, and I used it. I had it on for like several weeks, and I felt really good with it on, sleeping with it and everything. So it is definitely, if you're having little difficulty with your energy, you need to like tighten it back up. I think that definitely helps out. Happy and healthy sleeping. Nice.
Yeah. The wristbands for EMF, we're getting such incredible feedback on those as well. Definitely people who are highly sensitive or empathic in any way are really reporting wonderful benefits. I know someone close to me specifically, she said that, I mean, it's literally like changing her life. And I can tell too, I can tell she's not exaggerating, because I know this person well, and I know their energy well, and just the way they're communicating, I can see it and feel it. It's absolutely making a difference. Their energy levels are through the roof, in very beneficial ways, and not in like a too stimulating way, just overall good, clean energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I in my family, if any of us, myself included, we're having little inflammation, from maybe the workout in the gym, or you get injured some way, you put those patches on, and you get relief almost instantaneously. It's unbelievable how fast they work.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point, Michael. Most people, so a question that people have is, how quickly can you experience the benefits? Many people will feel it almost immediately, and I mean that literally, but then also, within a few hours. It's typical that you should feel something within the first few days.
Yeah.
It's not going to be everyone, but within the first week or so, you should notice a difference. Let's say with the body relief patches, you should feel a difference, or see a difference even, with whatever area you're wanting to address.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely makes a difference. I had a problem with my thumb for I'd say probably almost a year. It was just something, being a Navy SEAL, and working out hard, like over the top hard. I get tweaked, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna live with that for a while. So whatever had tweaked my thumb, I was just living with it, and I put the patch on, and I literally got relief instantaneously. And I hadn't had any relief like that in a year. So it was unbelievable. And I have a lot of people, obviously, that have used a lot of this stuff, and they tell me amazing things. Same thing, almost 10 plus years of problems, and then they put on the patches. Of course, this will not always work. We got to throw that out there, but a lot of people are definitely experiencing relief, because the inflammation is the thing, and it's a longevity thing, and it's a disease thing. So if you're having inflammation, in your body, a lot of times it will lead to further problems. So it's definitely good to be able to, get that relief like you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a few other products in the pipeline as well, pet products, and something else I can't really talk about at the moment, but something that's going to be very beneficial for men specifically. And yeah, those sleep products will be ready here in the next few weeks. So really looking forward to that.
Yeah, you guys just keep rolling out incredible stuff. It's amazing because we can go like a few weeks or so and have you guys come back on, and I'm just like blown away again. So it's amazing, amazing what you guys are doing. It's
Yeah.
definitely helping the world in a lot of different ways.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
We both appreciate you helping spread the word. And I mean, truthfully, you do an awesome job explaining all this stuff. So that really helps the companies, and it helps the people understand it and understand what they're actually using and buying, and how they can utilize this stuff to help people. The one thing that I have been thinking about recently, specifically with the EMF products, in that they're giving off these beneficial frequencies. I think about it in terms of like little sparks of light around the world. Like the more people that are using these, and that the more devices they're on, or people's bodies they're on, it's coherent, balanced energy that is then literally interacting with the quantum field around us, and creating this chain-like effect of harmonious frequencies that are then able to communicate with each other. It's like a grid of beneficial energy that is spreading everywhere. So we really appreciate you helping to spread that as well.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of having the EMF harmonized products on, because you're like you're talking about, you're creating a field that reaches out sometimes like up to 10 feet, right?
Yeah.
So if you're sitting in a group, you're basically giving the people in your group, EMF harmonized protection. So it's a double benefit. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's a great point. Spreading love and light when people don't even know it with this technology.
Yeah, fantastic. Right. You guys got anything else you want to share before we sign off?
No, I think that's it. I mean, if you have anything, or if there's questions in the comment section, we'd be happy to answer them.
All right, let's look. Let me pull that up then. That's awesome. I've seen a few of them. There's a lot of so let's see, our cloaked unseen world. How about chlorophyll? It synthesizes light, and we are hyperspace light beings, according to the John Q. Patton walking through walls training system, which I know is real. Got video evidence to prove it. So you guys know anything about walk through walls? No, I mean about the chlorophyll stuff.
Yes, absolutely, and that's a great question, because this solar plast, the chloroplast extract, it's loaded in this light energy, or specifically biophotons, because just like he said, chlorophyll absorbs light. It is a quantum technology. Chlorophyll is a free energy, in my view, a free energy creating device, because it's capturing light energy and then turning that into, let's say, carbon and sugar. But those biophotons, it's just condensed packets of light that is communicating information quantumly to our DNA and to our cells to beneficially promote overall good human physiology. So yes, to that question, it's the exact same thing. The biophotons is such an interesting topic, and that actually ties in to the EMF scalar technology as well. I mean, it's a different conversation, but it's along the same lines. And something interesting about those biophotons is it's been shown to help promote the alpha brainwave state. So as you know, Michael, and Noah, I know you know this too.
Yep.
The alpha brainwave state is the calm, alert, focused state when we are most in tune, not only with ourselves, but our immediate environment around us. So if someone is tuning in intuitively, or doing remote viewing, or any sort of cognitive function, studying, reading, things like that, being in that alpha brainwave state is where you want to be. But most of the time, there are benefits to other states like theta and delta, but just in general, like wakefulness, you want to be in that alpha state.
So there's a question about the website that'll be posted in the description, guys. So the links for both of the product lines can be found in the description box. So there was a question about how long can you wear the patches?
The body relief patches, we say 2 to 3 days typically. However, there are people who will wear them up for a week and still feel benefits. So it's not limited to anything.
Mhm.
Just whenever you stop feeling the benefits, try a new one.
Yeah, I've had them on and I forgot they were on. And I only take showers and everything, and just like, oh, I got that thing because I had a little tweak in my back and had one back there, and it was like it was on for like a week, and it was like cool. Oh yeah, the thing's back there. So I took it off, and no more pain back there. So they do definitely work. Uh, how does the how do they work? So it's basically using that scalar wave technology, right?
Yeah, they're communicating beneficial frequencies to the DNA, which then the DNA signals to the cells to create a certain physiological response. And in this case, the physiological response is to promote a healthy inflammatory response. So, like on that video, we saw the red inflammation, and then it shifted to more of a green color, which means that there's just good overall physiological balance with respect to a healthy inflammatory response.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And then there was a question about can you detox the beans? I'm sure they're talking about the coffee beans before you grind them.
No, you might. I mean, I have a view on it, but no, you might know specifically.
I think it's more so in the process, like roasting it and then storing the coffee. So I guess when you get the beans yourself, really just keeping it in a dark area and not exposing it to light is going to help, and keeping the bag sealed closed. As far as before you grind it, I don't think there's anything to help. Lance, do you have any other?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that you could really. I mean, you might be able to do it if you wash it with pure clean water and get some things off, but um,
So that's why you would look for clean coffee like what we're going to offer.
Yeah.
It's going to be clean of all those mycotoxins and heavy metals, everything that you would want to clean off.
yeah, no pesticides. Getting pesticides off of anything, honestly, but specifically beans, coffee beans, very, very hard. I mean, you could definitely wash them in as clean of water as possible, and that would probably help in some respect. But just trying to source like the cleanest beans you can is the best way to do it.
Yep.
Excellent. And someone's talking about they're going to research to live in Canada. They're going to start building new greenhouses and plan on having bees, and they're going to research the pine pollen harvesting. So that's going to be good for them. So they're
Awesome.
very happy to have had this conversation. So how much pine pollen does a person take at one time, and how often?
So we have recommendations on the bottle. I'll just read it off because it's actually the most appropriate way to do it. So one serving is 2 milliliters, and the dropper bottle does have a measuring aspect on it. And we say 2 to 3 servings per day. So that's basically 4 to 6 mLs. Now, one does not have to do that. Me personally, I don't take anywhere near that, and I still feel the benefits. When you're starting out, I would say definitely 2 to 4 mLs a day, just so you can feel what it's doing for your body. If it's ramping you up a little too much, you can always back down. If it's not enough, you can always go up with it. But it's very, very strong stuff. It's raw. It's living. I mean, the spirit of that pine is there. That plant spirit is there in that product, and it is there to help us.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. And thanks to everyone that came in and asked great questions. And this video is going to be here. And of course, like I said, the links will be in it. I'm going to upload this video into my other site. It'll also be on Facebook and Instagram. So if you guys want to look at the other sites that I have and get this information or share it, whatever, it'll be great. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you guys next time.